Alright. Hey, hello again. And I'm fixing to get underway with the follow-up to my regular book collection. Now I'm going to go through my DVD collection and see how you all like it. Alright. Again, flip over the camera lens. And let's get underway with this. Alright. So first of all, I'm going to actually, you may have seen this shelf that carries a lot of my books. This just has a lot of DVDs and VHS tapes. Alright, now the first thing that's sticking out here is Looney Tunes. Yeah, I'm a huge Looney Tunes fan. Volume 2. I got Warcraft 3. This is basically a DVD that has all the CGI cutscenes in Warcraft 3. It's pretty cool. It's not amazing. Well, the cutscenes in the game look amazing. Mystery Science Theater 3000. God, this show is so awesome. It's so funny. If you haven't seen this show, you need to. It's basically, if you don't know what it's about, it's basically this guy and his two robots are forced to sit down and watch all these really old, crappy B movies and stuff. It's pretty funny. And of course, I got the 5th volume of Mystery Science Theater 3000. Blade Runner. Of course, you can't be a sci-fi fan without having Blade Runner in it. Seven Samurai, the most famous movie by legendary Japanese filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. Kurosawa was a really legendary filmmaker. He also directed another iconic film called Rashomon, which I do have somewhere around here. Another Looney Tunes collection, Volume 3, as a matter of fact. Then I got a crap load of VHS movies. Yeah, I just don't. These are the movies that I kind of don't see the point of getting on DVD since I already have them on VHS. I got the Shawshank Redemption. Really, this movie speaks for itself. Big, Tom Hanks, a very funny movie. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. This was a really good movie. It had the acting was extremely good. I think the guy who plays Bruce Lee in this movie does a really good job. There are a couple things that they did make up about this movie, but overall it was very faithful to the life and the legacy of Bruce Lee. Backdraft. This movie is directed by Ron Howard. It's got Kurt Russell. This is a really good movie. The music in it is incredible. In fact, the music that you hear in this movie is actually used in a whole bunch of movie trailers and stuff. It's pretty iconic. Black Hawk Down, another Ridley Scott movie. Again, this film speaks for itself. I don't think I need to explain it. The Page Master, yeah. I'm actually surprised I still have this movie. This is like one of the oldest VHS movies I have. I like this movie a lot. This was so charming and so great when I was watching this as a little kid. I need to watch it again just to go back to my childhood because it really made me happy. Of course, this is like a Blu-ray of all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I love Freddy. Freddy Krueger's my man. Well, I didn't mean to. That sounded a lot more gay than I wanted it to sound. Alright, now that I got those out of the way, let's check out the rest of the things I got in here. I have Aliens on VHS, which I also have on DVD. John Carpenter's The Thing, one of the greatest movie remakes of all time. I got Ninja Assassin. Not a bad movie. It's certainly not one of the best action movies, but it's extremely over the top. It's gory as hell. It's a lot of fun. I like it. It was pretty entertaining. And of course I have the original version of The Thing, the 1952 version, which was a lot less faithful to the book. The Thing is actually based on a short story by a guy named Joseph Campbell, and the short story was originally called Who Goes There? And the Thing in the story was, in fact, a monster that could change shape, that could shapeshift, just like in the John Carpenter version. Whereas in this movie, it's basically a gigantic Frankenstein-esque, like, vegetable monster. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it was the 50s, so you would. This is a great movie, though. If you ever get the chance to see it, it's got the acting in it. It's really good, and James Arness does a really good job as the Thing. Nosferatu, probably the original iconic vampire movie. This is from the silent era. I had the movie Shadow of the Vampire, which is like historical fiction, whereas it talks about what if F.W. Murnau, the guy who directed this movie, what if he cast a real vampire in the role of the main vampire in this movie is a guy named Count Orlok, and it was supposed to be Count Dracula, but they couldn't get the rights from the book from Bram Stoker's wife, so not wife. They couldn't get the rights to the book, so they had to change the vampire's name to Count Orlok, even though it's basically the same story as Dracula. Spider-Man 2. Probably one of the best comic book films ever made. Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy. This is a really awesome documentary. However, if you're gonna watch this, you better have a lot of free time, because it's a very, very, very long documentary. It's extremely long. Indiana Jones, of course. You can't live without Indiana Jones. I'm sorry, you just can't. Especially, this is probably my favorite movie. Lost Crusade is a close second. I love that movie too, but this has got to be my favorite one out of them all. G.I. Joe Resolute. This is an awesome animated movie. I'm not a huge G.I. Joe fan, but even so, I thought this movie was badass. Last Crusade, again, an amazing movie. It is. But I just like Raiders just a little better. Scarface. You, of course, gotta have Scarface. Again, I don't need to say anything about this film. It speaks for itself. Zombieland. I was actually surprised when I went to see this movie in the theater. I was surprised by just how good it was. I didn't expect it to be good, but it surprised me. I was just expecting it to be just dumb and stupid and careless, but it surprised me. I like it when movies, surprise me. And Temple of Doom. This is the one that people give a lot of crap to, but I actually like it a whole lot. I think the one problem I have with it's that it's a lot slower moving than the other two movies, but once it regains its pace, it's just as much fun. It's just as exciting as the other movies. And of course, The Toxic Avenger. One of the most shameless crap fests ever in the picture motion of cinema. If you love crappy movies, this is the one for you. It's crappy, but it's crappy in a fun way. It really doesn't take itself seriously at all. This movie is like, it's totally self-aware of the fact that it sucks. So, you can just take it or leave it. I love it. I think it's a crap load of fun. And then I have most of the Universal Monster Movie Legacy Collection DVDs. This is the Invisible Man with Claude Rains. Hang on a second. Here we go. Pulled up a chair. I was just crouching down previously. Yeah, great movie. I love the old Universal monster movies. They're the best. And of course, you got The Mummy with Boris Karloff. I do not have the new ones with Brendan Fraser. I really don't like those. Kill Bill. I need to say nothing more. Apollo 13. This is an amazing movie. If you have not seen this, then don't even talk to me. The Truman Show. Probably the best Jim Carrey movie ever made. Because in this one, Jim Carrey isn't acting like a total freaking dumbass. Gangs of New York. A very good movie. One of Martin Scorsese's better films. Of course, Dr. Strangelove. One of the funniest damn movies ever made. One of the earliest movies directed by Stanley Kubrick, who directed Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, 2001: A Space Odyssey. He's one of the most legendary filmmakers who ever lived. And of course, right there, the main character and one of the main actors in the movie is Peter Sellers, who's also famous for playing the main character role in the Pink Panther movies. Great movie. It also features a very young James Earl Jones as one of the plane pilots. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Dragonheart. Now, this is another movie that a lot of people rip on, but honestly, I like it a lot. I loved it. I used to watch the crap out of this movie as a little kid, and to be honest, I think it's aged very well. I watch it again, and I have to say the CGI in this film is some of the best CG I've ever seen. Like, the CGI in this movie is unbelievably beautiful, and all the actors do a really good job. Dennis Quaid, this is like one of the few movies where Dennis Quaid's acting is not totally wooden. David Thewlis makes a great villain, and Sean Connery is brilliant as the voice of the dragon, Draco. And it's a very heartwarming movie. It leaves you with a good feeling at the end. It's a great movie, in my opinion. And speaking of Star Wars, I do indeed have all three of the original Star Wars movies on VHS, and they're untampered, unaltered, original theatrical formats. My grandmother gave this to me, and I am forever grateful to her for doing so, because I do have the DVDs, the Star Wars DVDs, and to be honest, those movies look way better on DVD. However, I do not approve of George Lucas's addition of all the crappy CGI effects, which is why it's good for me to actually have this, so I can watch the movies in the way they were originally made. So yeah. Well, that does it for all the movies on this shelf. So I'm gonna... Oh shit, my lens is a little blurry there. There we go. I'm gonna move over here. I got two shelves right here, so the first one I'm gonna go over is this one. Alright.